Post-secondary education is expensive, especially if your kids want to become healthcare professionals themselves. In this video, we'll look at 3 ways to ensure that your children receive the education they deserve and they desire. The first is Registered Education Savings Plans, or RESPs. The second is family trusts. And lastly, we'll look at using your professional corporation or holding company. RESPs should be the first strategy you consider. They're government-sponsored plans with huge benefits, including government grants, tax deferral, and income splitting. The RESP owner, known as the subscriber, contributes to the plan. The government also contributes, usually up to 20% through the Canadian Education Savings Grant, but there are certain limits. Your children will receive the funds when they attend a qualified post-secondary educational program. Contributions are not tax deductible like an RSP, but investment growth and the government grants are tax deferred until withdrawn. Family plans can have multiple beneficiaries, so you can share the funds amongst your children in case one of them doesn't go to school. And it's not just for traditional university education either. For example, I once made a qualified withdrawal for a client whose daughter wanted to attend a 3-week bartending course. There are several options available in case your children don't want to attend post-secondary, and never in my 12-year career doing this have I ever seen a case where someone regretted having an RESP. They're flexible, they're tax efficient, and the government chips in. What else could you ask for? Once you've optimized your RESP, it's time to look at other options like family trusts. A trust is a relationship where one party conveys property to another party for the benefit of a third party. A trust is usually created using a trust agreement or deed, and it should be examined or drafted by an experienced lawyer. When trust assets generate investment income, it's usually taxable to the trust. But if it's set up correctly, that income or some of that income can be taxed in the hands of the beneficiaries instead. There are some complex tax rules that apply here, but you can pay out capital gains to minor children and other types of investment income to adult children. Income splitting means having that income taxed at their rate and not yours. Before considering this strategy, speak with your advisor, your accountant, and make sure that a lawyer is involved in setting up the trust. Lastly, let's look at professional corporations and holding companies. If you're a physician and you've incorporated your medical practice, you may also have a holding company as part of your corporate structure. If so, you may be able to pay out something called second-generation income to your spouse or adult children, so long as they're shareholders. Second-generation income is derived from your investment portfolio. Say you have $100,000 in retained earnings, and that you've invested that in a portfolio of stocks and bonds. That retained earnings is your first-generation income. But if those earnings then pay out dividends and interest, that's considered second-generation income. That can be paid out to adult children or spouse shareholders and taxed in their hands. Another option would be to pay out capital dividends. These usually come from triggering capital gains inside your corporate investment portfolio. Half of those gains can be paid out tax-free and then gifted to your adult child or used to pay their tuition. So in all 3 strategies we've looked at here, RESPs, trusts, and holding companies or professional corporations, you're essentially taking income that would otherwise be taxed in your hands and having it taxed in your children's hands instead. That's real tax savings, and that can help ease the burden of education costs for your family. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends, family, and colleagues. And if you'd like to discuss any of this further, send me an email or message me on LinkedIn or Twitter. Thanks.